want the fans to root for what's right, which is us.
Yeah.
And if they root for what's wrong, which is them, then so be it.
So be it, and don't talk to me, and don't ask for a selfie in the street.
Don't ask for a selfie. Don't come on holiday.
Don't look at me.
Don't even look in my general direction.
You now have the power no man has ever wielded. You will have an empire unassailable, Rhaenyra. And our children will rule it forever and a day.
One thing that I love about House of the Dragon is the exceptional performances that we get from all of you every season. But I'm curious if there's a performance that you experienced on set that left you completely in awe this season.
I have a few scenes with a character who's a bit spooky. And I love watching them work always, but it was particularly powerful to be opposite them.
It was a real joy to get to see Tommy Flanagan, and who I'm such a big fan of his anyway, but just to get to see him live in the flesh.
Yours?
Emma's.
Everybody goes on such a rich journey. I got like a front row seat to, Ewan's performance a lot this season, and it's extraordinary, and I was totally blown away and inspired, and it's next level.
It takes two to tango. You're only as good as your scene partner.
Emma brings something that is almost just. I don't know what demon they made a deal with, because it's so raw.
I am intrigued to see what Tom Glynn-Carney does.
Oh, again.
As Aegon.
Yeah, so good.
What Matt Needham does as Larys.
Yeah.
And what Ewan does as Aemond. They're the ones in particular, because I feel they're tricky roles to play. And I go back to George saying at the very beginning that there are no villains or heroes, they're just people. And those guys epitomise that, because you could look at Aemond and just go, oh, he's just evil, he's the villain. But you watch what Ewan does with it, and it's like, no, there's something else there. I mean, I wouldn't want to be his friend, wouldn't want to be in a room with him, but watching from a distance, you kind of go, oh, there's something there, he needs something, So I'd be intrigued to see what those guys do.
There's a moment in episode 2 that I think Emma Darcy gave a masterclass of performance, and if it was up to us, they'd have every award going. It was
genuinely
just
to do that and keep it
unbelievable.
up for 10 to 14 hours of the day as well. It's it was just. I can't honestly. I was speechless on the day as well. It was it was just wonderful, wasn't it? And it was so real and
also watching them maintain it. I think there's a lot. We're surrounded by incredible actors. And I'm always fascinated by my friends' process. And I think watching Em, in the gaps in between, it was a long day. It was a really long day. And everyone will know what we're talking about when they see it. It was a long day. And watching how they maintained that level of performance consistently and what they did to get there and to stay there was just, it was unbelievable.
I think I would say in my whole acting career, and I do remember a lot, even I started when I was 6, but that is probably the best performance I've seen firsthand on set.
Yeah. Felt like we were in a play for 14 hours.
Yeah.
I've always said from the minute that Aegon started to interact with Larys that I've loved what Matthew does with Larys. It's always so... I never know what he's going to do. It's always so varied and so layered and so complex and detailed. And for someone who's still learning about all of this and working out kind of how I approach my work, it's been nothing but a massive learning curve and educational experience to be around Matthew so much and to watch him work.
I'd say the same about...
I'd say
the same about Tom, because I remember when we had the first scene we had in season 2, I just remember I have a very vivid memory of sitting on the edge of your bed, and I could just feel the sadness coming off of you. And it was just really affecting. And I love being with people who can project that, and because you just pick up on it, and it makes it so fun to play, because you're actually reacting to things rather than having to manifest and make it up. Yeah, things are actually happening.
Thanks,
so
mate.
it's such a joy.
I'm just an inherently sad person.
Yeah, right. We all are.
I see you have been merciful.
But the crown is a weight that crushes. You'll do things that spell death for all involved.
Your characters spent most of last season separated. So how did it feel to be reunited this season, especially now that Damon has sworn himself to Rhaenyra honestly?
It was wonderful, both characterfully and creatively and personally. We kept saying, remember we sort of passed each other in the corridor and go, this doesn't feel right, it was a bit weird. Why are you over there and why am I over here? On the trident of things there, it was a success that the characters are back together.
Absolutely. Did anything stand out to you about your scenes together?
They're both pretty active this season, which is nice. Like, as opposed to sort of, I don't know, Damon going off as an envoy and then returning to find Rhaenyra in the same room he left her in. There's a kinetic energy, I think, to their scenes this season.
But it's also just great when you're back with an actor that you have a really deep relationship with over time, both personally and creatively, and so just, you know, it's like playing tennis with someone that you, for want of a less analogy, that you just, you know, that makes you work hard, but it's kind of thrilling.
Well, it's thrilling to watch the both of you. Now, Emma, we get to see Rhaenyra tap into her rage this season. So how does that rage inform her decisions, and how did that feel for you as an actor to tap into that energy?
There's been a lot that's been suppressed for probably for 2 seasons, you know, and actually by the end of season 2, she's sort of finally able to kind of let go of the advice of her counsel and sort of rid herself of the shackles of a body that sort of doesn't believe in her. And I think with that comes this like expression of frustration, of rage, of the energy expended in trying to navigate a system that is not set up to empower you. I think what's nice is that she also has that rage is kind of really directed for the first time. Kind of claiming her birthright is sort of within touching distance. Finally.
Yes, finally. Excited to see that unfold. Now, Matt, at the start of this season, there's plenty of action up front. So what was one of your favorite days on set filming that battle at the top of the season?
The top of it. Do you know what I liked? Because I've seen a bit in the trailer, and I liked being in the mud. I sort of like it's kind of interesting as an actor, like when you, I don't know if you find this, like if you acting in elements. Sometimes, yes, it can be challenging. Wind's quite tricky, but like rain and mud and stuff, it sort of does. There's a visceral. There's like it does a bit of the acting for you.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
There's also something to like work against. Like
yes.
it creates a rub.
Yeah.
Or something.
And then I was just like, can you make? I was really conscious of the fact that I wanted the first image to be totally covered in blood, and I was like, we've got to just cover him in just as much blood as possible. More blood. And they're like, I was like, trust me, just loads of blood. I love all that.
There's nothing more badass than just blood everywhere.
Blood and mud, yeah, and it's like, yeah. And also it's just an immediate thing for an audience to go, ping, done.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah. Now, speaking of the trailer, Emma, we do see Alicent warning Rhaenyra of maybe some of the decisions that she might make in order to gain power. So what does Rhaenyra consider about Alicent's counsel and their friendship at this point? And what's been your favorite part about performing with Olivia this season?
I mean, it's always a joy for me to work with Liv, I think, not least because so much of the genesis of Rhaenyra, of my character, was sort of carved out in like early scenes together, I think, and so it feels like kind of returning to the bedrock of that kind of that constellation when I get to run a scene with her, and I think there's something kind of interesting. I think Rhaenyra still experiences Alicent as her sort of judge and jury, regardless of how polarized their relationship becomes. I think she still craves Alicent's affirmation ultimately and still wants to be sort of seen as successful in her eyes. I think in their kind of childhood relationship there was something of Alicent being the translator of kind of the court and the sort of court operation for Rhaenyra, and because she was Rhaenyra's kind of closest friend at the point of her mother's death, there's some sort of transference there, I think, and so Yeah, I think it's interesting when a kind of enemy or a sort of political rival remains your judge.
We'll all become beasts before our end.
It is no longer safe here.
Olivia, Allison is warning Rhaenyra about maybe some of the horrors she might do as queen. So what can you tell us about the state of their friendship right now? And what was your favorite part about performing with Emma this season?
Yeah, we get to see a different side to their relationship. I mean, it's always fun working with Emma. I feel like it's always very effervescent and dangerous. But it's a very interesting dynamic and a sort of reversal of power, and Allison trying to sort of use whatever cards she has left, which isn't very many. And, you know, she's sort of coming to Rhaenyra and warning her about how, you know, power corrupts.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm excited to see that new side of the relationship unfold this season. Fabien, for you, Sir Criston Cole last season kind of ignored a lot of advice and was also confronted about his relationship with Alicent. So how is he feeling about himself as a knight at the start of this season?
I don't think he feels too good about himself. I don't think he's feeling too good. He surely can't be, and if he is, he's got delusions of grandeur, I think. You know, I don't think he's ever really been a guy who feels particularly good about himself, to be honest. So I don't know that that's changed all that much. I think he's just in a deeper well of his own misery, to a degree. But that said, you know, at least he's out of the castle. He's an outdoor character now.
He's an outdoor character.
Yeah. So, yeah, he gets fresh air. He gets to
touch some grass.
Get his feet, get a bit of sun gazing.
Grounding.
Bit of grounding, tree hugging.
Oh, that's probably exactly what he needs.
I think he is one of those people actually who really does need that.
Yeah.
He'd do well at Wim Hof. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
That'd be good for him.
Aegon has fled, Aemond is calling the shots, and Rhaenyra's army is drawing near. So what is Alicent's survival strategy?
The clock is ticking for Rhaenyra's arrival, and she's just trying to secure the castle and use whatever sort of queenly powers she has left with Helena in tow to try and force the guards to stand down to make this a smooth transition of power. But, you know, it's House of the Dragon, so it can't go smoothly. She's stressed.
Now, Fabien, you mentioned that you think that fans are going to change their opinions in season 3 and 4. So who do you think the audience is going to side more with in season 3?
Oh, God, it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say.
We're too close to it.
We're too close to it, you know.
Because obviously it's the Greens all day long.
For the Greens, for us every day. We don't have any time for the Blacks. And anyone who's in the Greens that sides with the Blacks is a betrayer.
Is kicked out.
Is a betrayer and kicked away from our group. We want the fans to root for what's right, which is us.
Yeah.
And if they root for what's wrong, which is them, then so be it.
So be it, and don't talk to me, and don't ask for a selfie in the street. Don't ask for a selfie.
Don't come on holiday.
Don't look at me.
Don't even look in my general direction.
Yeah.
That's our duty. We're loyal to our side.
Yeah.
And so we should be.
Absolutely. I like that we're setting the record straight here.
Yeah, it's important. It's important, and you heard it here. And I hope that when you speak to the other cast, that they feel that the wrath of Team Green.
But don't speak to them.
But you shouldn't speak to them actually, unless you want to. In which case you can, obviously, free will.
But we'll think differently.
But we'll think differently of you.
Rhaenyra's coming. You are no longer safe here.
I cannot wait to see both of your characters and what they do this season. But what would you say are Aemond and Alice's greatest strengths and weaknesses going into season 3?
The greatest strengths, I think, Vhagar, for sure. Like that, just the biggest, baddest dragon in the known world. Weaknesses, I think in Aemond's eye, it's very much his love and affinity for like the people that he loves for, you know, and in Eamon's eye, that is a vulnerability and a weakness, you know, it's duty over love. And yeah, what about you?
I feel like Alice doesn't have anything to lose. You know, I think that's a very clear thing. She doesn't have any like known family, and her responsibilities are so kind of amorphous and unclear. Like her participation in the war and in the world and in her relationships, like she's kind of she's a middle ground player, so she gets to have that feeling of freedom. But I think that was her strength. Her weakness is that she feels like she is not that free. She's kind of trapped, you know. Harrenhal is a bit of a golden cage for her.
Definitely. And again, I can't wait to see you guys both interact there. Ewan, I actually got the chance to speak with Ryan Condal for the season 1 premiere in 2022, and he named Eamon a contender for best TV villain. So we've seen Eamon make some pretty evil decisions, but would you say that season 3 is when we see his villainy fully realized?
No, he's the hero. He's the hero of this story. People always forget, but he is. He's the... You know, he's just trying to help everybody and save everybody.
That's exactly what a villain would say.
No,
Exactly.
we do. I mean, definitely. I mean, Eamon, from what we've seen of him in season 1 and 2, and what we've seen of him in the first 2 episodes, like he's done some horrific stuff, and he will. If no one can stop him, he'll continue to do horrific things.
Now, Gayle, what would you say Alice's witchy instincts are saying about Eamon in comparison to Damon?
I think that she could see Damon really clearly and saw like kind of what her role was supposed to be in regards to like guiding him. I think with Eamon, it's much more unpredictable, and I think that doesn't make her feel that safe. But also kind of opens her up, which I think is kind of scary, but like gives us a lot of opportunity to be like, where are these two people gonna go? And as dangerous as Eamon is, I think that also like draws her in more. I think the kind of danger that Damon possesses is something that she felt like she could control. But yeah, I don't think she can control Eamon, and I think she's weirdly drawn to that.
That's interesting.
Now, Ewan, what would you say, or how is Eamon feeling about Alicent now, and what's his approach to her this season?
To Alicent this season, I think Eamon's, you know, coming off the back of season 2, you know, kind of assuming this role as the leader of Team Green. I think he very much wants to kind of, you know, show that he can look after the team and really, you know, be the provider, be the daddy, in this world for those guys. And I think, yeah, like he's always loved his mum, and you know, granted he has a very peculiar way of showing it, but he's always wanted the best for her. You know, he'll never forget that she stood up to him during an eye for an eye scene in season 1, and he wants to reciprocate that love to an extent and provide.
Now, something else Ryan said was that the season 3 premiere of House of the Dragon is arguably the craziest episode of television ever made. So as a fan, I'm like, where does the show go from here? How much more crazy does it get? What do you think how do you think they'll react to the rest of the season?
Oh my God, yeah, they're gonna have to fasten their seatbelts. Like, every episode just antes up the last, you know, and all of these characters showing all of their true colours, you know, desperate times, and it's really gonna be, it's just gonna be a sight to behold this season. I don't think there's been a season like this on any other TV show. You know, it really is just, it's a testament to HBO and Ryan Condal and all of the creatives involved. Everyone's just so passionate about it, and their work is realised. You see that on the screen.
The Queen has many dragons, but her subjects do not feel safe, nor should they.
In season 2, it's very clear that Corlys and Alan have that tense and complicated relationship. Does their relationship grow for better or worse in season 3, and how does that affect the story going forward?
I think it just grows, right?
Yeah.
I think
just grows.
But I think it's a good thing, because it's like you know, it's better to move forward or to grow rather than to stagnate. And I think, you know, for a long time their relationship was stagnant and it wasn't there. And season 2 really kind of the eruption of Alan to Corliss was almost as a challenge to Corliss to be like, all right, if you want to do this, then this is what you have to deal with. This is where we are. And in season 3, I think Corliss does rise up to that. I feel like Corliss starts with rising up to it, like, you know, in the sense of, you know, in the first episode, he apologizes, which is like an act of real, you know, selflessness, but also just a sense of accepting your wrongs, which is something that no one ever does in this show, because and that's why we're in the problems that we're in today. Yeah. So it's like I feel like the relationship grows for better, for worse, for brilliance, for horrendousness. Like it's so complex.
Yeah, I think there is what is so lovely about the relationship is that there comes a point further on in the season where Alan can talk to his father like equals. There are moments when he questions his father's motivation for whatever, I won't spoil it, but for whatever he's doing. He questions him in a way, again, that Corliss has not been questioned other than by his wife, who's no longer there. So I think that it starts to go into something healthy. And also I think there is a moment where Corliss is trying to do something for his sons and puts himself at risk in the way that he approaches that particular task. I'm doing this without trying not to do any spoilers, you know what I mean? But when you see it, you'll know.
Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
My heart is like racing thinking of all the moments and seeing them in this season. But we do get the Battle of the Gullet this season, and I heard about these dry and wet practical sets. So could you guys please break down your experience on them, maybe the choreography and just the overall shooting days with those?
Yeah, so we worked on the Gullet for a good sort of 3-4 months, including rehearsals and choreographing the fights. And we had these 2 different tanks. We had the wet tank and the dry tank, and they're exactly as they're described. The dry tank has no water in it, and the ship is on these huge gimbals that's kind of emulating the water and emulating the movement of the sea. And then you've got the wet tank, which really is just water. Like I think it's 8 meters deep. It's horrendous, it's cold, it's weird, it's wet. And again, you're getting water cannons blown into your face. It's really an experience. But the sheer brilliance of it all was that it was all technically, you know, crafted and mastered in a way that you did feel like you were on a boat, and you felt like you could feel the movement of it and feel the madness of it with the wind machines and the fact that you're in this huge space, which is just a huge green screen. It was really great, and you had the director Lonnie, who was wonderful at this, but he was just shouting direction from below, being like, and then there's a dragon, and there's another ship coming, and it was just hilarious because he was really in it, which then infected everyone else on the boat to feel really in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was every day was like wow.
It was epic.
Wow. Yeah.
And then of course, add to that, we had these incredible stunt performers who just made us look good. You know, they were extraordinary because, you know, we'd choreographed it, but of course, once you're on the set and you're trying to survive, I started flailing. And they just somehow make every move that you do look good. Did I tell you about the guy that I met on my film? Did I say about this guy? So I was on another job that I wrote. Put that in.
There you go.
Anyway, so I was doing a stunt with this guy, and he said, "Oh, we've met." And I said, "Oh, have we?" And he said, "Yeah, I was on Dragon." I said, "Oh, really? Were you?" He said, "Yeah, you cut my balls off." And I went,
"Oh my god!
Oh, you were that guy? Okay." So,
oh my god.
There's only so many shows on TV where you can say that, oh, I knew you from that specific experience.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope he said it in public. That would be great. Oh, great.
We are exposing her as weak and unsuited to rule.
My enemies have been allowed to muster their strength.
Let's talk about the Battle of the Gullet, because that is such a huge moment for both of your characters. So without spoiling anything, what is going through their minds as they prepare for this first battle?
Jace is ready. He's ready. He has been waiting for this moment for his whole life, pretty much, I think, to prove himself that he is a rightful heir to the throne and that he can do it. Yeah, I just think he's not overthinking it. He's sort of planned it in his head, but he sort of hasn't. So he's ready. What would you say?
I think they're actually coming like polar opposites at this moment. I think Baylor is terrified. I think she can foresee that they are no match. I think she sees that they have very small dragons in comparison to the adults around them. And I think she just knows that this is probably too big for them. And so I think she is feeling really fearful and really reserved, like really hesitant. And her reservations about going are not because she doesn't think they're capable, because she does. And I think she has a lot of faith in Jace. But I think, yeah, initially going in, she's very fearful of what they might be met with. And we'll see if her doubts were unjust or, yeah.
Yes, we will see, definitely. So Harry, you previously told us that you keep a Jace journal. Now, we know that he loves his mom, Rhaenyra, but what is Jace journaling about at the start of this season?
I'm trying to think what I actually did journal about at the start of this. I think it was just a lot of, like, swearing. like yeah, like, this is ridiculous. I'm being told off every time. No one's listening to me.
Where does everyone else get to go?
She's falling for loads of traps and she's sending off Baylor instead of me. This is getting ridiculous. I'm the heir to the Iron Throne. No one thinks I can do it. Yeah, just a lot of grumpy teenagery stuff. I'm being treated like a child and everything like that, just a lot of that. And yeah, that's all I really journaled about. And when I got the script, I was obviously doing it based off the scenes, but yeah, just probably the most boring page, and just Jace ranting throughout, about 3 pages long.
Definitely typical teenage journaling. Like, if anyone looked at my journal back then, it would be extremely cringe.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Bethany, Bela is such a fierce warrior. What has she come to learn about battle, especially this season?
Oh, do you know what? I do think she is a really fierce warrior, and I think often we mistake hesitance for like lack of ability. Ooh. And often it's the people that are the quietest that know what they're doing. And I think she's somebody who is more than capable, but actually just knows that there is more to battle than just like diving in. And I think we're going to come to learn that she is somebody who really knows herself and really knows what is what, but maybe isn't listening to her gut all the time. So I think by the end of this season, I think she's going to really have learnt to trust those gut instincts and those gut feelings.
It is always the quiet ones, right?
Always.
That is so true.
Yeah, it's
but
always the ones
silence is power.
Silence is deadly. Or
silence is deadly.
It's always the loudest in the room who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, which is
Absolutely.
me.
Well, excited to see her journey unfold. Now, one thing I think everyone is just so excited for is the amount of dragons in season 3. So how do the dragon scenes match up to what we've seen previously on this show?
It doesn't.
It's pretty epic. It's pretty I do think this is the best season.
You're going to see dragons doing stuff you've never seen them do before, and it's going to be like a completely new...
Yeah.
Turning over a new leaf, isn't it?
And you're going to see new dragons that...
Yeah.
People haven't heard of or know about, or maybe haven't even heard us mention before in the show, which is exciting.
New dragon riders as well.
Yeah.
Did you guys give any of the new dragon riders tips?
I feel like they
don't have a
needed
big
them.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Before the book scene.
Yeah.
Don't have a big breakfast. Do a lot of stretching beforehand.
Yeah. For the men, protect your jewels.
Protect the goods.
Yeah. Protect your jewels.
Great advice.
I think people don't realise it's a bit of a workout.
It is.
It's like it's a bit intense, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Targaryens are a savage race.
We act with holy purpose to restore a rightful king
Tom, Aegon is not in a great place right now. So what is keeping him moving forward, and what is he learning about the real world now that he's on the road with Larys?
Oh God, he's learning everything about the real world now. The unfortunate reality of being not the king, or at least being treated like the king. It's a fall from grace for sure, of kind of a biblical size, but he is in the hands of somebody who he, I think, eventually trusts in that he has a plan, and Larys's brain works very differently to Aegon's, and I think he has to rely on that and feel as safe as possible in the knowledge that the strengths that Larys has are ones that Aegon doesn't, therefore he's going to benefit from. But yeah, I mean, God, he's not had a wash in weeks, being dragged through the mud, both metaphorically and physically. So yeah.
A very rude awakening, I can imagine. Now, Matthew, we never quite know what Lord Larys is scheming. So what would you say is his motivation for getting Aegon out of King's Landing? And what can you tease about your journey together?
I think the motivation is to get him away from threat, really. The overriding thing is to just get Aegon away from any potential that he might be killed, because this is his meal ticket, really. This is his shot at the big time, and his ticket to security and safety and prosperity and happiness, maybe. That's it. But he's got to keep the guy alive, and this is in just an absolute open warfare. It's hard to do, and it's hard to do. So we're sort of constantly like dodging bullets, and he's trying to sort of shepherd Aegon in a way that could protect them both, but Aegon just won't listen, or is off on his other thing, or is so driven by really strong emotions that he's not listening to his brain. So it's a real struggle. It's really, he used to set fires and now he's putting them out.
That's a great way of putting it. So I'm curious how you both feel about becoming one of the great buddy road trip duos of the Game of Thrones universe this season.
Thank God.
Thank God, yeah. Feels right.
That's why I accepted this job. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And it's nice that, I mean, we were talking about the sort of the comedy relief that it offers the show, which we both find quite interesting, because I remember at read-throughs, we kind of like wanted to reject that, didn't we? Because there's something so sort of desperate and sad about their situation.
Yeah.
And I felt like potentially we were being ushered down a path to be the comedy relief. But I think the way that you achieve that, if that is the aim, or that is the sort of device that Aegon and Larys might be this season, is to just play the reality of the situation, because there's something inherently funny, I think, about two people who are completely at rock bottom and are floundering around trying to find their way out and trying to find the crack in the wall, to find the light, to then dig themselves out of this mess that they're in. There's something funny about watching two people just up over and over and over again.
Disaster. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if there's one thing we know, it's we need a little comedic relief in House of the Dragons from time to time. I'm curious, what do you think Aegon and Larys understand about Aemond at this point in the story?
He's a conniving little...
that he wants to kill him, right? He's just chaos, power hungry, violent. I mean, he's great for Larys in a way, because it's given an excuse to get out the castle. It's this unknown chaotic factor that you can really benefit from. But yeah, he's an unknown quantity, really.